Everyone, welcome back to another episode of WrestlePurists Worldwide. As usual, hosted by myself, Joe Hulbert, Manny the Hooper, and Ibu of WrestlePurists, better known as Backup Hangman. First and foremost, please like, subscribe, super chat if you're feeling generous. It's always appreciated. Today we're going to be we'll probably talk about the WWE World Heavyweight Championship tournament that's going to be kicking off. I'm sure there's been some rumours or, just some other talk that's been going on. It hasn't been like the craziest day of news, but it was a busy weekend. There was a lot of stuff going on, so we're just gonna, be talking for the next just under 90 minutes before Raw, and yeah, man, we're gonna get going. Manny, got the bandana, no mask tonight. How you doing?
Good, just chilling.
So energetic.
No, I mean, I don't really. Everybody knows.
Always bad.
Huh? No. I watched Guardians of the Galaxy this weekend. Great times.
Absolutely.
Wore my new bootleg CM Punk shirt.
I gotta check that out.
And then the shirt. Wait, what the shirt? I mean, the shirt just says straight edge on it. I wore the shirt to the movies, to the bar, and I got a beer, and they said, "Bro, you're straight edge. Why are you getting a beer?" And I said, "Man, it's just a t-shirt."
Give me the beer, man. Yeah. It's good shit, man. But yeah. Manny the Hooper was.
Oh, yeah. I also canceled my YouTube TV subscription.
Yeah.
Why?
Too many WWE commercials. I'll just watch it on. I'll just watch AEW on fucking.
Bro, that's crazy, man.
What did you have YouTube TV for anyway?
Watch watch the NBA games.
Fair.
In Dynamite.
This man canceled an entire subscription because he got WWE commercials.
He saw Backlash. He saw Bad Bunny in Backlash pop up, and he was just like, "Ugh."
This was great.
Yo, it's a real thing, man. I left the group chat, man.
Monty, do you know do you get the Must Be Monday commercials?
There must be no. We don't do it, Joe.
No, that's how they. The first run of those nearly killed Samoa Joe. Remember they put him through an announce table?
Yeah,
that was the first Must Be Mondays.
I get the ones where it's like Must Be Monday, and it's like Monday Night Raw, Must Be Monday, USA Network, and I'm like, all right. Manny saw that shit and was like, ah!
I could be wrong on this, Monty, but BT don't really. They promote it as more like part of the package, right? They'll run like their ad for like everything they have, and they'll just like a clip of Drew McIntyre and a Claymore. It's like we got that shit too,
BT Sport, Soccer, Premier League.
They do have a lot, so
they do, and their digital stuff is tremendous. To be fair, right?
Yeah,
they try their best for that stuff, but
yeah, they're doing all right. But Joe, always throwing it to you after the Hooper tradition. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Another day in paradise. Back again on WrestlePurists, and it's been a good day. Tomorrow I will not be doing any shows. We're going to announce that now formally. Apologize in advance because Dumb Guy Live does not need me. If there's one show that must be protected from the whole oversaturation, it's Dumb Guy Live. So I will not be on tomorrow, but I'm excited to kind of close out this loop that I've worked in style.
Hell of a run.
Worldwide. Yeah, I mean this is home for me. So like to me, I've worked hard over the weekend. Now I'm in front of my hometown crowd, which is WrestlePurists Worldwide. I'm going to take it easy. I'm not going to lie, guys. Don't expect a lot from me tonight. A couple arm drags, drop down tackle, hip toss. If you really start making some noise via super chats, I might go a bit crazy. You don't know, but I'm here to chill with the fellas and talk crap. So fired up, brother, as always.
Good shit, man.
Joe's on the last night of a long house show tour. He's just trying to, you know what I mean? He's just trying
to make it home, bro.
Long tour, pay-per-view week. It was a long tour, brother. Traveling all over. He was doing the thing, man. He was doing the thing. Ibu, how are you doing today, man?
I'm okay. I didn't know the Knicks were playing tonight until a couple hours ago, and it ruined my day. Probably gonna. Yeah, I'm probably gonna. I feel like I'm gonna skip the game. I feel like I'm gonna protect my peace and just not watch.
Wow.
And hopefully the reverse psychology that I'm putting into the universe by doing that makes them win. Maybe we'll see. But other than that, I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't have much to say about anything really. I didn't do much today. You know?
I know this season's done to me, Joe, as a Chelsea Football Club fan. I just don't have sympathy for like any fan of any sports team. You know, it's like we've just. It's almost freeing. You know, like it's just like we are fucked, and I've accepted it. And it's like no one else is as fucked as we are.
Do you do that though, Monty? Do you just skip games? Do you ever find out your team's playing? You're like,
yeah, I've hardly watched this season, but I can't do it.
The thing is, though, I have to protect Ibu. To be fair, you've seen your team win a lot, as bad as they are now, right, brother? Our friend Ibu of WrestlePurists he's been starving, bro. It's been a long time, you know. It's been a lot. Now I can relate. I'm a Tottenham fan and a Sixers fan.
The Knicks are good once every 10 years.
Yeah. So Monty, your deal is basically if you look forward, you know you're fucked. So you just kind of have to look behind. You have to just constantly remember, you know. now I ask you the question: imagine looking forward and knowing you're fucked, and also not being able to turn around. Very scary. Very tough place.
Well, I understand the feeling that Hangman. I understand the feeling Hangman's going through. I didn't watch any Spurs games this season. You know it is. I watched a lot of Suns games, and then during the playoffs, the games I haven't watched, they won. So I don't know if I should keep this tradition up because now I'm scared if I watch Game 5 tomorrow, the Nuggets might win. Then now I'm scared because then it's 3-2. So I don't know. It's a pretty scary situation I'm in right now.
It's very scary for the real sports side of our fandom on these podcasts. You know, I'm going to go through some super chats, so I keep them coming now. We always appreciate them. Jacob Donnelly, $5. Manny's dressed like Punk from his ROH shoot interview with Samoa Joe.
Oh my god,
that's fucking awesome, man. Are you aware that was performance art you were doing, Manny, or did you just luck into that?
I just lucked into that. As soon as he said that.
What a word.
As soon as he said that, the image came in my head. Yeah, I think he's wearing the same shirt too.
That's incredible.
He's going to look it up. Andrew the Giant, £2, appreciate it. Joe working the Savio Vega tonight.
He had fire, bro. I ain't looking to put that much effort in tonight, you know. So Savio Vega was a hell of a worker, folks. Go back, watch your tapes.
He's talking about Saturday, bro. You know, and he just kind of strolled out there. Hands in his pocket, you know.
Did you see his offense?
Did you guys know Savio Vega has a banger with Bam Bam Bigelow against Ricky Choshu and KG Muto? Really good match, and it's pretty findable on the internet.
Good shit, man.
That's
Savio.
The Saints enjoy it tonight, Manny. There you go,
Puerto
mate.
Rico jumping on Saturday, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's like royalty water. You know when he first appeared on camera backstage and you heard it? It was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Like,
Savio
Vega. They were rocking, man. They were rocking all night. Right. Glick Foley 999, appreciate you very much. Thoughts on this agenda? Dave's pushing for a non-AEW talent to not only main event Wembley, but be put over. In my opinion, AEW doing that in the biggest event in their company's history is an absurdly bad idea. The thing is, the story would tell for Ospreay to beat Kenny Omega next time they lock up, you know? So that's what makes me think they'll probably do it at Forbidden Door. Maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know what the cookie. I don't know what. But I'm not as against as our friend Glick. He's here against Osprey, but you know, I'm the brick, bro. I want to see the brick go over in the main event of Wembley.
I think it depends on the talent, right? Like if you book like Okada and he wins a match at Wembley, I don't think anyone's gonna be like, you know, ripping their ticket up. Fuck it, AEW's finished, you know. I think Osprey, same thing. Like I do think there are people who are getting carried away with like it should still be an AEW show, but there are exceptions to that rule. I think Osprey is one. Again, Okada is one, and it depends on the scenario. Genuinely, I know that's like a lazy answer, but like legitimately, it's case by case, right? Like if the main event
as always,
like if the main event was Kenny and Osprey, I don't think the result is really going to be anyone's focus when they're leaving the building on that night. You know, like that match would be the story.
100%.
I don't know.
They're going to do the house down.
That's the thing. It's like Ospreay is obviously one of Kenny's like biggest opponents he could possibly have at the moment. You know, so if they did choose to do it at Wembley, and obviously you look at it from the the perspective, obviously, you'd be like Ospreay's like big home, legacy making, moment of his career as well. He I wouldn't be mad at it personally. It's not. At the end of that, I want to see Punk versus Omega in the main event. I don't think I'm going to get it, but there is, multiple other matches that I'd be happy to see in that spot, and Ospreay versus Omega is one of them. But yeah, man, it's a long time away. I think Joe made the point the other day. It's the end of August. They've got two pay-per-views before then. So it's well, I'm more looking towards tackling that hurdle when we get to it.
I always forget Double or Nothing is this month, man. Fuck.
Yeah, it's at the end of the month.
Man, he's cooked, man.
Man, he said, fuck.
It's crazy. I actually think, have you guys noticed the pay-per-view card for Double or Nothing is materializing earlier into its cycle than Revolutions did. We know a lot of what's going to be on the show. We know that Jay White's going to wrestle Ricky Starks. BCC and Elite are going to wrestle in some type of match, probably Anarchy in the Arena. We got the Pillars 4-way. There's more that I'm just forgetting right now. Keith Lee and Swerve are probably having a one-on-one.
Jericho and Cole.
Wait.
That's a fair question.
Hold on. You can't just say that. No, that's a sure thing, bro.
Wait, Keith Lee and Swerve are definitely going to have a singles match in the show. I did think they were going to have. I did think they were going to have it one at Revolution too, though. I will say I did think that was going to happen at Revolution, and it didn't. So
they're still Dustin and Keith are still together on TV, right?
Yeah.
It honestly could just be Cage and Swerve versus Dustin and Lee on the pre-show or some shit, man. Like
that would blow. Like that would really be unfortunate.
The fact they went straight back to the Dustin team after that Jericho match does not seem like the most encouraging sign to me.
No, it was.
I don't know, man. It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the pay-per-view is gonna suck because honestly, the AEW pay-per-views rule.
It's not gonna suck.
I know. That's what I just said.
Yeah. Come on.
Get him, man.
So what was you gonna say, buddy? You good.
FTR versus Joe Jarrett and Jay Lethal. It did pop me for idea of it being like a TV main event. Then I heard it was gonna be on the pay-per-view. So I mean, I guess that's cool too. But...
It'll probably be really good, I think.
Oh yeah, it's gonna rule. The four-way main event. That four-way main event. I don't know about that one though. But it's gonna be a good match, but
I think
the match will be really good.
Yeah, and the match will be tremendous. I think. Go on, money.
I'm sure it probably will be, but like
it will be, bro.
When it comes to Fatal 4-ways, bro, it's just not like.
Yeah, I'm not
saying. I feel
saying
like there's a ceiling on them,
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that type of match, but for what it will be, they will probably tear it up. Like they'll probably.
What's the greatest Fatal 4-way of all time? Is it the junior one at one of the Wrestle Kingdoms with Will Ospreay? I forgot what year it was. There was one with Ospreay and Hiromu, and
that's a good question.
I don't know, man.
Chat, help us on that because that's like the hardest question for me to possibly answer. It's Fatal 4-way. It's like an unfathomable task for me.
Yeah, right. I'm not a Fatal 4-way guy, but I think these guys are gonna have a hell of a match. That's the least of my concerns. My biggest concern was how AEW could get these guys to feel like main eventers in time for the pay-per-view. That's the actual goal and priority. We've talked at length about the storyline and things like that. But the actual match, I mean, these guys are gonna go fucking crazy. It's a match with Darby Allin, like you know what I mean. Like I don't like those are always pretty good, Jay White and Ricky Starks bell to bell, I think could be very, very good. Man, he's awful. I think that'll be very good too because Jay's a good working heel. I like Ricky's babyface offense. That's a good match.
Yeah. Christian will be very good, to be honest.
Christian
at least I'll think he is.
We'll like it. Manny will not like it. The rest of us will like it.
Christian is going to face Wardlow for the TNT title.
And he just kind of looked down and shook his head like.
The Wardlow thing is tough, man. It's
Hey,
really
Tony, Khan, I'm making a plea for you, man. Put Claudio versus Roderick Strong on that show, man.
Actually, I got a question.
Keep it for the real ones.
So, guys, we had the Trios Battle Royal last week, right?
yes.
The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn won the match, right?
Oh yes.
Was that match not for a Trios title shot?
Yeah, I think
it was.
I think that's like separate from like House Rules thing. That I guess they're gonna do on TV until the pay-per-view, right? I guess.
Yeah, because they've got defenses lined up already, like you said, the House Rules thing got before that, so that's probably the pay-per-view match. So
okay, but why is a random team just getting a shot by asking for it for this week? If
House Rules,
it's
open house.
So what's the purpose of fighting for it in a battle royal? Like, I'm just confused.
Because that was before Tony knew that the House of Black were gonna go and do the they were gonna go after Script Brother and he's going by his own rules now, and that's what the House of Black does. They go by their own rules. Either you should watch the product. You know these things.
I'm just genuinely. I was genuinely just trying to. I thought maybe I missed something. I was just like, why are they getting the shot first? I was just curious.
Bro,
no, it's a fair question.
I'm here pondering that freaking.
Watch the fucking product, bro. go ahead, man.
We're gonna get the Acclaim versus the House of Black, man. We could have got Vikingo and Lucha Bros versus House of Black. That's a pay-per-view main event or pay-per-view.
Well, you gotta give the Acclaim something to do, and they're over, and it'll be fun.
Darren Walker, £5. Appreciate you as always. Ibu, will you fly over for All In? I'm sure Monty will let you sleep on his sofa and give you free meals a day too.
Monty would not.
I don't know about that.
He probably won't. I'm not gonna be flying the All In. Monty would walk up to me and be like, "Listen, man, I like you, bro, but girlfriend says you got one more day." I'll be like, "Damn, all right."
Bam, $2. Taking chains, Monty and back up Chelsea Knicks fans. Well, yeah, it's tough out here.
Commander's Ad, that's an awesome fucking name for them. That's they have Vikings. Did you guys see that comment right there?
I'll put it up after the super chat. What's it? Mason Robinson, $2. Are the Double or Nothing ticket sales concerning to you? They are what they are now in terms of like ticket sales at the minute. Kind of just is what it is at the minute. It didn't surprise me. They're not like fucking the territory's dead levels. Like they're nowhere near that at all. They're still sold like I think it's nearly 7,000, but it's definitely not where they were yesteryear.
People are definitely gonna MJF think piece it up over it, and I'll say
some people will, and some people will, they'll.
I'm those people.
There's a million factors. You can never, when it comes to these things, you can never really pinpoint it to.
Of course not.
You can't really pinpoint it to just one person, especially not modern wrestling. With the way that it works. So
I'll tell you what, Monty. When I first saw it, I didn't think much of the number. I was like, all right, that's just what it did, right? But then someone pointed out that like it did 14.5K in the same venue a year ago for the for the Hangman Page CM Punk headline to Double or Nothing, and I was like, oh shit, that's kind of crazy. But it
felt different then. Like it doesn't mean it's bad now. It doesn't mean that it's like ice cold or the territory's dying, as Monty said, but it absolutely felt different a year ago. Doesn't mean it was great necessarily because there was issues a year ago. There's all, that's wrestling, right? There's always flaws in terms of quality, but in terms of momentum, it definitely felt different. Is this, we talked about this on Thursday, like this conversation is going to be especially weird in the next coming months because Wembley is such an insane success that like framing AEW as a cold promotion feels preposterous. But like domestically, they do not appear to be red hot by any means, right? Like I saw even like the house show stuff this week is like not the best. But ultimately, does it concern me? No, because I would like to live a life where that's my biggest concern. and it's like whatever, right? Like they'll be okay. And I think the big thing is not about Double or Nothing anyway. It's about how they maximize this summer. There's so much going on this summer.
100%.
How they come out of it is more important.
Literally took the words out of my mouth in the sense of like it's just I mentioned it the other day as well. It's like they've got such an important period where they can genuinely pick up a lot of momentum again, but they have to play the cards right, and they're quite hard cards to play at the minute. So, well, I guess we just got to see how Tony Khan navigates it.
I didn't even know that Double or Nothing tickets were on sale. So
people have to go to it, Manny.
No.
Yeah, Manny's fucked. You know what I mean?
The only thing I knew was on sale was the only discourse I saw on tickets today was that Kentucky show that has like 1,000 people going.
I will say, like, the number is whatever. The actual picture of like the tickets is fucking insane. It looks way worse than like the number is 1,500 people for house show. That's whatever. But like it looks insane on the ticket map, genuinely. So. They're gonna see it.
You know what I wonder. So like, have you guys seen what was announced for it? They did they're doing Lee Moriarty, Wardlow. I think I saw Sky Blue against somebody. I can't remember who.
Tony, yeah.
Right, and so the direction that they're going in is young wrestler versus somebody who can work and getting them experience on that, right? And I think that's solid from a talent building perspective. But I wonder if. Like, could you imagine if AEW did house shows the way like they'd be done back in the day, where it's like you just do really huge matchups with stars that like TV will never get. Like, for example, like fucking just running a house show version of like, I don't know, like Omega Danielson on a house show. You know what I mean? 17 minutes, they do like a 75% version of their match. I'm just curious if that would draw better if it was like you literally were getting like a AEW supercard on house show.
No, pissed off I would be. And then I'm getting what I'm getting on Dynamite. And on house shows.
That was how they sold house shows before, because it was like, this is a match that you have to come here to fucking catch this.
It's for the house. It's hard. Like it pops me because just the idea of that is like real graps, right? Like it's kind of sicko shit that pops me, but
no footage of it.
I think for them, the biggest benefit of house shows in their model is what you described in terms of young guys getting a chance to have reps in front of live crowds without having, you're going to add in two, that's what they want to avoid.
Maybe I'll just book smaller venues.
The question is, what is what's the market for that? Because ultimately, while some of these matches they announced for the house shows will pop like nerds like us, if you go to a market you've never been to and a family wants to see small elite wrestling and they want to see, they're going to want to see some of the heavy hitters. And they might get a couple of them, but if you go through the history of wrestling, when a company's house shows look like bonus features, it doesn't often go great in the end. Like the first one was a great success. These latest numbers are not tremendous. We'll see. I mean, Jeff Jarrett's like, he's got some sort of master plan. And we'll see as it rolls out if there's any kind of actual need for this in their model. But as a fan of wrestling, I've said this a million times, house shows to me are like, that's the realest of graps to me, Just meat and potatoes wrestling for the audience only. Like, that's awesome. So I'm glad they exist. I just don't know if they necessarily have to in their current form. But we'll see.
What pops me is just the idea that, like, you can't see it unless you go there.
Yeah, man.
There's something about it,
Absolutely.
Have you ever
the thing that popped me the most about what you just said was the way he was like, I wonder if it would sell more. Like,
you'd hope so, right?
Just wondering if Omega versus Danielson would sell more than Sky Blue versus Tony Storm. I wonder.
Questioning the box office appeal of FTR Guns 2. Is that what you're doing right now, Monty? Because let me tell you, if I was over there, I'd be fucking front row, man. Let me tell you that.
Are they running back FTR and the Guns at the house?
Oh yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, the last one was so good. They just gotta run it back, maybe.
I'm actually.
Do you remember like the first house that had like fucking Pat Buck working matches and shit?
Oh yeah, I remember.
I would actually pop to see the footage of Wardlow versus Lee Moriarty. Have you seen because I know they wrestled before on the Jericho Cruise, and I saw a little clip of them just doing like chain wrestling.
Is Is there any footage of Yuya Uemura versus Rocky Romero on the Jericho Cruise?
Maybe.
I don't know.
That's something I actually need. That sounded so cool, so hopefully.
The one he had with Rocky Romero, right?
What happened?
Wait, you're talking about Uemura that he wrestled on the Jericho Cruise, right?
Yes. He wrestled Rocky Romero for some type of was it a CMLL belt?
It was the CMLL World Title or whatever that Rocky has.
Yeah.
The welterweight.
Right. Welterweight.
A real wrestling title.
That's a real.
Ricky Starks, 199. Not doing the voice. My Ibu, can't wait to travel to London with you.
I'm not going, Ricky.
Perhaps Sam, 199. Appreciate you. You think Bad Bunny has a wrestling burner? No.
No.
Wow, what an incredible thought that is.
Jimmy Butler, $5. Appreciate you. Skipping the Knicks game, Ibu. Good. No fake fan frauds allowed. Hold this out and tattoo it on your forehead.
I'm not gonna do it, bro.
Monty, have you become familiar with the kind of mythology of Jimmy Butler, the lore of Jimmy Butler? Are you aware of any of it, Monty? Because he would pop you so much.
Yeah,
he could get Monty into basketball, right?
Yeah, the guys were telling me about it. I think it was last week.
He's
a fucking psychopath.
About how we played with the reserves,
he's
the non-starters, and fucking kicked the shit out of the starters.
And he cut out the Wolves name and just left Minnesota on his jersey and shorts.
I didn't tell about that. On his practice jersey, he cut out Minnesota on his team name to show people I'm not with this team. He's a sick fuck.
Beast.
I think it was. I don't know. I say Tej. Is that his name? The point guard at the time. He was saying, "Oh, he's making great points." While Jimmy Butler's roasting the starters, he's like, "Wait, I'm a starter."
Jeff Teague, right?
Yeah, Jeff Teague.
Yeah. Jimmy's a maniac, bro. He had. I just read a quote where he said, "I'm the best fucking player in the league," and I was like, "All right."
And then Thibodeau was hands were shaking as soon as Jimmy Butler walked into the stadium because he was excited because he knew something was going to go down.
Bro, when you make your coach shake when you walk into practice, you're a problem.
It wasn't shaking bad. He was shaking excitement, he knew something.
It was a nervous shake, man. Yeah, fuck him. He's gonna kill us tonight. It's unfortunate.
So yeah, Manny. As we've already pointed out a few times on this podcast tonight, you are pretty cooked with the modern wrestling world at the minute and what's going on.
Yeah, we should stay
what have you been doing? What's the Hooper been doing? What's he been watching?
I've been getting Star Wars lore.
No, not this again, man.
What
else?
What else?
Joe was ready to dive in, bro.
Bro, we got another hour, bro. I said, fuck it, let's do some Star Wars lore.
It was called. I did find out. I did see Roger Strong's wrestling Mike Bailey again. Everything Revolver. That's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to watch that.
Mike Bailey said, "I finally have a new guy to wrestle." Because he's been in the Gresham verse for 2 years.
Gresham verse.
He wrestled every decent indie wrestler.
Yeah, he's fuck.
I did find a cool match that I am gonna watch probably later on tonight. It's Sin Cara versus Conan versus there's a third guy in the match, and it's a triple threat. I think elimination hair versus mask match. Whoever loses, the winner, gets out of the match, and the losers go until somebody loses their hair. So I can't wait to watch that.
You mean Cien Caras, right?
Yeah,
Or they said Sin Cara. I was like, huh? When did he wrestle fucking Conan? Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
That would be something, brother.
Yes.
That'd be really bad.
$2. You think Statlander will be back for Double or Nothing? I'd hope so. That'd be cool. She's been gone for a minute, man. I can't even remember what the last update was on her and what the what's the word I'm looking for? Time scale for her turn. So
timetable.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's such a shame too because obviously it's always It always sucks when people get hurt, but Chris was like really rolling before she went down with that injury. Like, do you remember the match she had where the crowd just decided they wanted Chris to win? They just decided it was the week of Double or Nothing last year.
That was a whole year ago?
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Wow.
Her reactions were really kind of exploding. She was it was very clear that whoever she was beating, she was about to do some big stuff, and it's a shame it timed the way it did. But hopefully, when she's back, she can pick up where she left off.
You know what's crazy, Joe? I'm seeing a lot of like 1 year ago today tweets with AEW, right?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of stuff that reminded me that like about a year ago today, Rampage was really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a lot of like the Yuka Sakazaki facing Riho and stuff like that, and those really well produced Joshi matches we were getting on Rampage, and like, you know, like recently was like the 3-way with Darby Allin and Andrade and Sammy and stuff like that. So interesting time with the product. I remember like if we go back a year ago, right? I remember like Rampage a couple weeks was better than Dynamite, because I think the Double or Nothing build on Dynamite was a little clunky outside of the MJF Wardlow build, which was like tremendous, and and then Punk Hangman. But I mean, overall it was a fun time, and it's just interesting to look back, because like for the first time, like this last year hasn't felt like a year like in previous years, if that makes any sense. Like I'm seeing a lot of 1 year ago stuff that doesn't feel like it was a year ago.
I agree in terms of like instinctually it feels weird, but if I like come up with a list of all the things that have happened in that time, there are other things in that timeline you're like, that feels like longer ago. You know, like it's, you know, because like the same. I mean, where were we at a year ago with WrestlePurists? We
were on this channel, right? That's probably why it's weird for me, because I like we're now at a point where like, because now I'm at a point where like I was doing shows now. It just doesn't feel like it's been a year. You know, like, you know what I mean, Monty? Like, does it feel like you've been doing this for a year, like on the channel?
I don't know. It has kind of flew by, hasn't it? To be fair.
Yeah, this is where I'm the old fuck, because it feels like a lifetime to me.
I still
genuinely feels like a long time ago, me.
I still remember Monty ranting at Chris and Rob on the WrestlePurists podcast after a Dynamite where like Kyle O'Reilly, I think, won a Battle Royal. I think. Main event
stop calling mediocre great or whatever. That whole run.
Yeah, like O'Reilly won a Battle Royal, headline with Moxley. They had a pretty good match, and then like Rob and Chris like, this time it was great. And I was like, no, it wasn't. Stop calling mediocre great.
the first cracks in back of Hangman, you know.
I do remember there was a lot of excitement about Battle Royal and like all of these like dynamic possibilities. And I actually really do like the match with Carl and Mox, but as soon as Carl won, you knew Mox was just beat. Like there was no element of like unknown there at all, right? It was just like it was a good match.
That was the biggest thing a year ago. Yeah. Tony Khan had a huge affinity for Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, I know, I love it.
And you know, I do miss Kyle now, but like it was very interesting. Like Kyle was like his favorite, clearly, for like a month. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's interesting.
Let's dive into some.
What do you say, man?
Oh yeah, it'd be nice to have him back.
Of course, absolutely. Now, especially now that Roddy's back, the Roddy O'Reilly tag team was so fucking good.
Unbelievable, man. That was, you know, I like Bobby Fish, but it blew that. It blew Red away in 2 months.
I can only imagine what Tony's gonna do with Roderick Strong if he went that crazy with Kyle for that month and a half. Oh, man.
Look, man, the beauty of Roddy is that he's not even like, he ain't even gonna wait for Tony to go nuts. He's gonna do it himself. He's just gonna do a fucking world tour. He's an animal. There's match graphics on my feed, you know. It's like, I don't even know how good these matches are gonna be. But I'll pretend if it works. You know,
fucking Iowa and fucking wherever else the fuck he's going. You know, he's an animal, man.
He is.
Bro, that Kyle versus Darby match from Double or Nothing. People thought it sucked if you like go back and rewatch it, bro. That was one of the best matches on that card.
The match is really good. It's just
who thought that was up?
You know, the show was really
made something up.
No. People did think it was up because they thought the show was long and they had to be on there.
I get what you mean. Yeah, it was the match they kind of they just like threw it on. I think it was more the idea of it people didn't like rather than the match.
Yeah, because I think Fish
yeah.
might have been hurt and Sting was hurt too, or had COVID or some shit like that. Because
Do you
they're
remember-
building a Red Dragon versus Sting and Darby.
O'Reilly just like beat him clean, right?
Yeah.
Tony was
Tony
all in,
loved
bro.
him. Tony was feeling him, bro. He was feeling Kyle.
Flat in the middle, bro. You know.
I think my favorite Darby matches are when he's wrestling technical guys like Kyle. Oh shit, my phone. It's Kyle O'Reilly and Kyle O'Reilly Kushida.
I love that Manny didn't play it off or anything. He said, "Oh shit, that's my phone." He's like, "Yeah, man."
Yeah,
Yeah,
he got an ESPN. The funniest thing is that it's the ESPN update jingle.
I thought the sound effects were coming from someone earlier. I didn't realize it was my phone the whole time.
I can't with this guy, man. I really just I don't.
He's cooked, man. Telling you,
He's so fucked.
he's cooked.
I do got a WWE question for y'all.
oh, is this gonna be sincere, man? Or is this gonna be spiteful? Which
No,
you get?
it's actually sincere.
Okay,
So
good.
I saw the list for that heavyweight title thing they're doing, and
Yeah.
out of all the names, I didn't see why Dominik Mysterio wasn't on there. And everybody's gonna like laugh like, well, why should it be on there? But I'm like, if this guy is the most popular wrestler on there, why isn't he on the list? And I think it'd be kind of a funny visual to see Dominik walking around with the title and Rhea walking around with her title and everything like that. And I think they could do some good stuff. I wouldn't watch it, but I think WWE fans would watch that stuff.
I think the idea of him being in one of the triple threats wouldn't be that bad because he'd get
Yeah.
so much heat, you know.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna do the thing where he has a belt too, it should probably be one of the mid card belts, though. I know that's the best way to
Yeah,
establish.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was about to get to that. But, yeah.
I will say, Monty, like at this point, would Dominic not be a better title holder than Austin Theory?
Sure, he gets real heat. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I wouldn't have either of them hold a belt, but like if you had, like, you know what I mean?
He would be good for like back in the olden days when the TV champ had like the 10-minute time limit. Could you imagine Dom just fucking dragging every single babyface on the roster to the 10? And it doesn't beat anyone, just survives 10 every single week. You'd have to get creative, though. 10 minutes could be a little long. We may have to shave it.
Oh, no, listen,
Put a nice
Dom would cook something up, you know.
Yeah, feel a nice lengthy.
He's a heat magnet. He's a heat magnet, bro. Yeah,
babyface
real
shine.
heat magnet.
Cut him off in the ad break. As soon as you come out of the ad, babyface come back. Finish. That's what you need, brother.
Dom did a Mitch Inoku driver on Rey Mysterio on SmackDown in Puerto Rico, and I was like, hold on a second. Hold on.
No, man. Sometimes, you know.
Monty, today I had a moment today where I was just like, because obviously I'm off on Mondays. That's the reason why I watch Raw, is because I'm off. And I just thought to myself, I was like, wow, Ray's not going to be on the show anymore with the LWO because this fucking
It's
draft.
sunk in.
Yeah, it's sunk in. And I got because usually like midday I think about Raw. And I'm like, well, Ray's going to be on tonight, and then it's like, But now it's like, damn, like no Ray, no Santos, none of those guys. It kind of sucks,
I didn't follow the draft closely, but like, what's the kind of consensus on who won? Which roster came out better? Is the kind of general belief, or is everyone split?
There is no consensus.
Really?
We'll get to it. we might as well,
Because usually there's like usually everyone's like, oh my god, Raw got the shit kicked out of them, or whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
So the thing is,
that's probably a good thing that you've not heard too much.
Yes,
of it,
yeah, I agree.
After the first night, people were like, oh, SmackDown was so stacked. But it was, if you really looked at it, like, and you just thought about it, it just wasn't true. People thought that because like SmackDown got like AJ Styles and Bobby Lashley and
Anderson.
Absolutely, man, Machine Gun, But I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Just Process 34,499 says, can you see WWE ever putting the belt on a celeb? Seeing how much they value PR and attention, Bunny or Logan Paul with the belt will create attention. Yeah, of course it would create attention. It wouldn't shock me if they put the US title on Logan Paul. That would not shock me.
Yeah, I agree.
He's better than Austin Theory.
I don't know. If I was a celebrity, I would want the Intercontinental title.
Okay.
There's so many layers to what you just said. Firstly, like why specifically, and secondly, if I was a celebrity, there's a lot to kind of dig into there. Explain, Manny.
So much history, like look at all the guys that held it. Look who held the U.S. title.
You didn't strike me as a big IC title historian, so this has popped me very much. We need to get you a replica, bro.
For some reason, I've always just like, even as a kid, I just like the Intercontinental title. Even when New Japan had it, I was like, oh, you got to watch the Intercontinental title match.
Joe,
that just passed me.
Joe, 2 months from now, Manny's gonna pop himself doing a Kurt Hennig deep dive, and he's just gonna
Kurt Hennig, Macho Man,
exactly. And you know what's gonna happen? Manny's gonna quote tweet some like random like WWE clip, and he's like, "This is what they're doing with the Great Belt," and he's just gonna say some shit like that.
Pedro Morales, all these guys.
Exactly. Manny will absolutely. The day Manny sees how Tito Santana punches, he's gonna fall in love.
I've seen Tito Santana on
Tito would
matches.
Manny,
Tito fucking ruled.
This might be your rehabilitation, brother. IC title,
I think
Bret Hart,
we're getting some Bret sprinkles.
There's a lot of WWF house shows. There's a lot of WWF house show matches on tape from the 80s, and the best stuff from what's up?
I'm sure there's a few redacted matches in there as well,
Oh yeah, eventually we got to work slowly. Sprinkle it with Rude,
Redacted versus Jericho in a ladder match at Royal Rumble 2000 is one of the best IC title matches of all time.
I tried to avoid us going down this road, but I mean,
I've seen Tito Santana versus Macho Man from that house show.
Oh, that match was great. Randy beat Tito for the IC title in the house show in 1986.
Tito was so good, man.
He was tremendous.
Did you guys know? I was watching something the other day, and Conrad said that there is a rumor. I did not explore this further. I'm going to bring it up on WrestlePurists Worldwide instead. He said there is a rumor that when everything went down and they chose Bret as their new guy, like in the steroid trial in the midst of all that, he said there's a rumor that Tito Santana was like the second option after Bret.
I don't believe that.
There's no way that's true. Like in any world, that's true.
He was pushing 40, and he was the Matador.
At that point, he was very much on the slide. Like not in terms of quality, but like on the place on the card, he was falling, steadily.
Yeah. I'm really glad.
Vince is.
Yeah.
Vince,
he was. What's funny about that, Monty? Ricky Steamboat came back in 91, and by that point, Vince was totally fucked with the cartoon stuff. You know what I mean? So like, Steamboat's first run in the WWF, he got to be Territory Steamboat, right? But like the second run, he comes in and Vince is like, "You're gonna be called the Dragon." Like just that's it, the Dragon, and that's where you get the visual where he has like the fucking big dragon like on his shoulders and stuff, like when he walks out.
Bro. I don't know if you try to say this is a bad thing or not.
It was a short run, yeah. Apparently, you may be mentioning Bret's book, the Tito Santana Biz. I will investigate this and refer back to it on one of my 12 podcast appearances this week, folks. So stay tuned.
Yeah, right. I was just gonna say that. Thankfully, that Steamboat run didn't last long. He realized what was happening. He's like, "I'm going to fucking WCW, bro."
That run is great. That WCW run is great.
That 92 to 94 Steamboat run where he got to fuck around the stage and Rick Rude and shit like that.
Brother,
that's good wrestling.
Beach Blast 92, Rude Steamboat, Iron Man match. That's fucking graps right there. Like that match, you feel exhausted watching that shit. It's so grueling. Has such a grit to it. Incredible.
It's fantastic. Steamboat's fucking entry into the WarGames match in 1992, man.
92 WarGames, man.
Yeah, this is worldwide, baby. But Jim Ross,
Joe nearly stood up.
92 WarGames is like the height of fucking graps.
Monty, Ricky slides in the ring, and Jim Ross literally goes, "Oh yeah, now we're cooking." Yeah, like Steamboat is his like hot tag into the match. It's literally like karate chop, chop, punch, karate chop, and then there's a dragon pose, and Jim Ross is like, "Yeah, get him."
There's also when Rude comes in that match, you have that crowd reaction where everyone like gasps in like fear because people don't realize they haven't seen it. In WCW, Rude was like he had like an edge. He felt like an enforcer. He felt because the rumor about Rude, the word on Rude has always been that he was like tough as nails, right? But in WWF, it was the land of the giants. He was happy to play chicken shit. His first promo in WCW, he said, Sting, you look bigger on TV. And he said, I ain't selling for any of these fucking losers. I'm going to just clobber them, Shit.
So have you know business?
Have you guys seen the angle where like they're like out in
But
public and like Rick Rude just like walks up to Sting, and I forgot what happened exactly, but he splashes like a drink in his face.
Mm-hmm. There's a brawl with there's a brawl with Davey Boy in '93 where like no matter what Davey Boy does through it, he will just not sell for him in this brawl, and he's just beating the hell out. Like he's just clubbing him on the back and Rude said, "What are you gonna do, make me?" You know, fuck it.
What pops me about this era, Monty, is all these guys are doing this and simultaneously like randomly going to New Japan on like the weekends.
Oh yeah,
and having like matches that either don't click or like are randomly beasts. Like Rick Rude has a G1 final with Masa Chono that's like really fucking heated. It's like really good. So
and then they take that match back to the States and they run
it's
it.
nowhere near as good.
I believe this could be wrong. I think Dave give the G1 match. He rated it very highly. I know that. And I think he gave the WCW rematch like -3 stars. I think Chono had a bad neck. There's always been rumors Chono had a bad neck. Rude's back was bad, but there was always this rumor that Watts kind of said like, you know, like don't show up the American fellas. Basically, was the idea.
Yeah, that is a story. He was just like, don't do that Japanese shit over here and fuck our main event up. That's
WCW in a nutshell, though, right? Take a match 2 months later and erase 8 stars.
I want people to know that I'm not lying about the Intercontinental thing. I have my Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with this Intercontinental title, and then a lot of my WWE figures I have are all Intercontinental title champions.
See, to take this full circle, my Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is the WCW World's Television Champion Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You know, short hair, veteran Ricky. You know, so
it's beast.
There you go, folks. Here's where we ended up again.
Yeah.
Worldwide, baby.
Oh, it's cover, you know. It wouldn't be right if we didn't. All right. Zero Prime, $2. Appreciate you. Having trouble with your space bar. What opinion, Ibu, what opinion on Yuka situation and what's her AEW status?
So for those that don't know, Yuka Sakazaki made it clear that she will be finishing up with TJPW at the end of the year. Which is big
announced, didn't it? TJPW announced that she's graduated from TJPW.
Yeah, a big loss for them. I mean, along with Maki Ito and Miyu Yamashita, she's one of their top wrestlers. So that's a big loss for them. I'd imagine this is obviously to relocate to the United States and wrestle for AEW full time. Yuka Sakazaki, she had a good match where she got her ass kicked against Athena at the Ring of Honor show. I've enjoyed Yuka when I've seen her. What's her status? I mean, I just think she's going to be with AEW more often. And, I'm not opposed to that because if Kenny Omega's around to agent the matches and she can work with Hikaru Shida and Jamie Hayter, yeah, man, bring her on. You know, more good women's workers that are just going to have good matches, the merrier. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, she's really good, man. I'm sure she'll be even more of a hit than she's already been if she actually gets chances to consecutively be on TV rather than what she has been doing through. Because she's been in AEW since, I think, day one, you know?
She was she got Double or Nothing, the first one.
There you go. Well, yeah, there you go. So, yeah, she's good, and it should be very good for her to get some momentum going in the US instead of always going back over to Japan to do her TJPW duties and stuff like that. So, we will see. Glick Foley, $4.99. He says, "You're starting a promotion, but can only sign guys who have never won a major bout in their wrestling career. Mid-bottom carders only. Top 3 guys you'd sign. Eddie Kingston.
Shikara Erasia from Montgomery.
Come on, man. It's part of the charm, but Shikara's not me. You know? Eddie Kingston, Mark Briscoe. I
feel like there's a lot of options here that I'm completely like.
Are we counting the Ring of Honor title?
I think the Ring of Honor World title has to count,
Yeah, because there's too many hoopers, you know.
Yeah, it's like an all-star lineup.
Who's my third?
Glick Foley always asks questions that are like too good to be super chats because like they deserve more thought than I can.
We got some time.
We got time, bro. We're gonna take our time.
I'll throw some 2 names out. Someone else throw a name out. You know, I'll throw 2 to get me started. Ibu, you got any names?
Ooh, Fit Finley.
Finley. No, let's not throw it back. You
No,
know,
this
no
is today, right?
throwbacks. No throwbacks.
Oh, just modern
you know,
stuff.
It is all the
right
time.
now
feel free
today.
to- yeah, but we did today.
Listen, I was playing Ready or Not by Lauryn Hill, which is the ECW theme of the bad guy, Razor Ramon. You know,
While you was doing
Hall.
that bit, Monty was like, "Today, current only."
No, that was his theme, man. Shout out to Scott Hall, who's never
Yes.
he was never a WCW World Heavyweight Champion, never won the WWF title. Could have won a couple local territory belts before he went over to the big leagues. So he's a shout.
He's not, because I said wrestlers today.
Oh,
What we're
okay,
doing.
motherfucker. All right, let me
Fuck, man, I'm like completely stumped by this, like genuinely.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna have to think of had like shitty, like.
You're meant to be professional podcasters, you know.
Oh, hold on.
Okay,
I'm gonna go with the chat. You know what I mean? You guys think?
Do tag titles count?
Well, Monty took Mark, so I don't think they can. No.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going with Hiromu Takahashi.
Oh, give me
Swerve and Eddie.
give me Gable, right?
Gable's
Yeah.
a good one. That's
Swerve.
one for Joe. Fucking Madcap
Swerve.
Moss is a bit crazy, you know.
Swerve won the North American title.
I
I
love
like
that
this trio right here.
we've ended up doing this as a team. Like, there's only 3 names. We're like, it's Chip
Swerve
Williams.
it.
Listen, I gotta say,
man.
I want Obafemi to tag with Omos.
Ricky Starks.
I'm gonna go with Ray Phoenix.
Ooh, wait,
There is a Ray Phoenix.
Was Phoenix
Ooh.
never a mega champion?
Cody Rhodes.
Oh, that's
Ring of Honor.
that's Mexico.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Remember, he had like
Fucking everyone's won that, isn't there?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was stumped. Everywhere I went, they either held like the fucking Impact belt or some shit. It's like I don't know. Who was it? He won the Impact belt.
Dax Harwood.
Well, hold on. Well, now hang on a second. We're trending in the right direction. Tiff, yeah. The absolute assurance that Monty said that with.
Would you count Dragon Gate's top title a major belt?
Montez Ford.
Hey,
That's a good one.
I like Tez.
Gargano.
Tez so much better.
Well, okay. Wait, who would you go with for Dragon
oh,
Gate?
Milo from DDT. What's up, Manny?
If you're gonna go with Dragon Gate, who would you want for Dragon Gate?
Pac.
Derby.
Son of a bitch! I forgot.
Are we not counting the NXT belt? I think that's a fair question because NXT has had times.
NXT. Yeah, if we're counting fucking Impact, bro, you know, counting
NXT
LA Knight's reign with the Impact title, I think we have to count NXT.
I think Simeon has the best 3 names right there. Oh no,
Darby,
Kyle's
Lee.
the Ring of Honor champion.
We got one. We got a super chat one from Matt. We appreciate him as always. He says all Japanese themes hit different.
Real.
Epic feels.
This is true.
Very real. Very, very real.
Old Japanese grabs.
Takeshita.
Absolutely. Oh my god, dude! You know what Vintage Pro Wrestling posted yesterday, Joe? It was a 1991 highlight reel match of it was Jumbo Tsuruta versus Toshiaki Kawada. And for context, Jumbo at this point, he's this old angry bastard hanging on by a thread to his top guy spot. He's a guy who doesn't want to pass it on to these young fucks until they fucking literally beat it out of him. And so he's not going to pass it on lightly. And then you got Kawada, who's just he's literally just he's a little shit. You know what I mean? He's full of fire, and he's taking the fight to Jumbo until Jumbo puts him away with a couple lariats and suplexes, and it fucking ruled.
I believe it. Kawada's he's my favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite guy from that time.
It actually reminds me of Okada right now because Okada is very much like, bro, I'm still fucking Okada. Don't push me out of this role. Fuck you. You know?
Zaid Nadi 499, appreciate it. Cody versus Roman could have been a top 5 world title match ever if not for the ending. I do think lightning can strike twice and the rematch can be special. I think the rematch will be special. It's just like, will it be that special?
That's the question.
Where I'm like pretty confident it won't be at this point.
Believe in both guys. I think they'll, I'm not like trying to frame it as though when they run it back, it will suck. It's just, as you put it perfectly, it's like the question isn't if it's special or great, it's can it get to the height that thing was threatening to be at, because that match was electric. I mean, top 5, obviously, It depends on what you're, like this. I don't know about top 5 world title match, but
Mhm.
it was fucking awesome. I agree with that much.
The heat in the building legitimately felt like, if you guys remember in the one of our podcasts, Joe, I was talking about Hogan and Rock, and you kind of made a face like, all right, let's relax. It's not gonna get to that point, you know what I mean? And and then we get to the match, and like it had Hogan Rock heat. It was like, what the fuck? So
I've said this to you guys before. Like, I don't watch it as closely as you, so I definitely underestimated just how much actual heat the match would have, because the heat is different to like them singing a song or like a callback response thing. And honestly, there are not many WWE World Title matches that have like genuine heat over the last 20 years. Like, there's a handful of scene ones that have it. A lot of scene matches just became the crowd like popping themselves with the back and forth until the finish came.
Exactly.
Genuine heat where like a guy would do a headlock takeover and people go, "Oh fuck," like it was.
Cody gets Brock down on a headlock a Roman on a headlock takeover, and it's like, yeah, and then Roman
old school.
Yeah, exactly. It was super old school in that. They cheer for anything Cody got on offense, which is such a throwback.
They were ready, bro.
We should have finished the story.
Yeah, they were ready. A couple more super chats on. I'm going to use one of them to segue into our next one. All right, Darren Cage, 199. Joe Hulbert this past week equals 2005 Samoa Joe. You know, he is in his stride. He wrote down. We appreciate you.
It's very kind. I'm not even trying to be humble, but 2005 Samoa Joe is like one of the greatest humans ever. You know, it's like a rare,
and the greatest sports athletes ever, and the greatest seasons.
Here's what I'd say, Darren. I appreciate it. I think we can currently live with 2015 Roddy. You know, we'll settle there. Give me another year or so, and we'll try and work up to the old Samoa Joe 2004. That's different, bro. That was a freak.
Bro, 05 Joe, he had matches. He had a singles match with Liger. He had a singles match with fucking AJ Styles. That was amazing. Another one with Daniels. That was amazing. The famous 3-way at Unbreakable. The fucking Kenta Kobashi match.
Necro
Butcher.
He was an animal. Destroyer, man. It was insane.
Fucking killer. One of the best wrestlers, like literally of all time. You know, so
this isn't 2005, but Samoa Joe's tour before he left his retirement tour for Ring of Honor when he left the first time. He wrestled Nigel McGuinness. Bro, he got Nigel I still remember his bump to this day. He got Nigel McGuinness and Muscle Buster and just did it to the floor. That was like one of the awesome bumps I've ever seen.
He's like, I understand he's a very different wrestler now and he's slowed down dramatically, but like it's crazy to me he can still do anything at all. He can still have like a genuine like 4-star match, you know? Like Mark Briscoe match is a hoot, man. Like it's a really good time. Again, I'm not saying he is who he was, but he knows what he can do now and he makes the most of it. He's incredible.
This is what was I gonna say? This is just making me miss Joe on Dynamite.
Yeah, me too. We need him back in the big game, man.
Don't worry, you can watch him every Thursday at 6:00.
7.
Yeah.
It is actually 6 for money. I forgot.
Cool.
That's where you can also watch the house Claudio's building right now. You know, guys.
Yeah, man. He's laying some foundations. He's doing his damn thing, man. Manny will catch you up with it if you miss Ring of Honor. Manny's got you on the weekly Claudio, but he's never.
I won't even say anything else, but hey, man, Claudio,
are you still watching the Honor Club show, Monty?
Yeah.
You don't have a follow-up?
That didn't sound very enthusiastic, you know.
All right.
Didn't follow up with a question or anything.
You know. It's interesting.
Rocky Romero versus Lee Moriarty this past Thursday. Very much got more stamp of approval, you know. Obviously, Claudio versus Eagles in the main event as well. Good bit of business.
I want to say, man, if you guys, I'm going to go back to Claudio again. If you guys haven't watched his Ring of Honor stuff, he feels like the real deal Holyfield world champion. Like the way, if you guys didn't watch the promo today with Ray Phoenix, bro, I was like, bro, how is Ray Phoenix gonna beat this guy, bro? This guy just is like, he just looked down on Phoenix and was just like, I'm the world champ, bro. I'm in BCC. What are you gonna do about it? You know, we're just a standard. And I was like, fuck, man. I mean, I hope Pence is in his corner or something. I was like, I'm gonna fuck him up.
Real, that's that real shit. You know? Oh man, good.
He's wearing his suit and everything.
Telling you, man, honor's still real, bro.
But it did annoy me though that they're both holding their Ring of Honor titles, talking about they're both arguing that they want their titles, but then you have an AEW banner in the background. Like, come on, guys, what are you doing here?
I have a Vince McMahon Raw change that he's made.
Oh,
So Cody was supposed to open the show, and then we were going to go right into Cody versus Miz versus Balor, and Vince basically went. And the other three-way was going to be later on in the show. Vince McMahon has made a big change to Raw. He has switched the three ways.
Like the people in them?
No, he just changed the order. He just has Seth's three-way go first, which to me, it reminds me of he made a change on he made a change on the SmackDown after Mania where it was the Viking Raiders versus Ricochet and Braun, and Vince was like, Ricochet versus Ivar. And it feels like one of those changes where it's just like, I just want to show you that I could still do this. Like, it really feels like that. Like, it's just like, let me see the sheet.
Two things made that funny. Firstly, the silence that followed Manny's question was incredible, considering the answer was no. And Manny's, for some reason, Manny sounding concerned as he asked if they've changed the freeways. Even though Manny was not going to watch either of them.
I'm not going to watch any of these things. Yeah, no. They said in the sheet that said 1, 2, 3, 4, and Vince was like, no, 1, 3, 2, 4. It's like, okay. What a fucking freak.
Yeah, man.
Can we talk about a Ring of Honor spoiler?
Sure.
Bro, man, if you guys don't want to listen to it in the chat, I'll throw up a next one when I'm done if you're watching.
Yeah, throw up an X. You know,
throw up an X.
If you don't want no Ring of Honor spoilers, mute your TV or your phone or your laptop, whatever you're listening on right now, and Manny will throw up a big X when he's done spoiling the future Ring of Honor shows. All right, Manny, go ahead.
There's only one match that Zack Sabre Jr. Samoa Joe versus Matt Sydal and Daniels match. That's real grass, bro. I saw that. Cool. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I wish we were getting more on AEW. But that's just classic Ring of Honor stuff where you just get the biggest guys in the promotion at the time and you just throw them in a match and let them wrestle. And it's cool too because obviously they made it intentional that Samoa Joe wants his belt and Zack Sabre Jr. wants his belt too. And putting them in the same team is really cool because usually it's the other way around, right? Usually it's who is it? It's, for example, it was Nigel Morishima versus Kenta and Danielson. You know, like they're rivals, but I just can't wait to see what they're gonna do. And from what I saw, because I'm a sicko, man. I see the updates and I just wait for the times. I'm like, okay, man, there hasn't been an update in 30 minutes. How long is this match? And then because I'm telling you, from like the last update I saw from that match, and then the one that followed was like 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and I said, oh man, Tony Khan let these guys cook. And I just can't wait to see what that match is.
I'm with you in terms of it does feel like a classical kind of Ring of Honor play, and I'm really big on experimenting with like weird tag situations with Joe anyway, because I think it will only like showcase his strengths, you know, and it will let him pace himself more. And I think there's a lot to be done with him in that kind of that is like just cool, right? Like seeing that match graphic come up, that's tremendous.
Is it? I'm also curious to see if they do Zack Sabre Jr. versus Samoa Joe at Forbidden Door, because I know somebody was pointing out to me that there's a match. Zack Sabre has to defend the title once before Forbidden Door, and I think he's defending it against Jeff Cobb. So that's kind of interesting to me to see which way they go, because I think it goes either way. If Zack Sabre Jr. beats Cobb, then they might just go to the time limit draw for that match. And then if it's Jeff Cobb, I think there's a good chance that Samoa Joe beats Jeff Cobb for the NWA title.
The one thing I would say is that I think it's definitely not impossible that Rocky Romero would like to just get a date or two of Joe in the New Japan.
Right? Oh yeah, that would not surprise me at all.
I think that sounds like
shit.
We need to fly Japan. Sorry, fly Japan. We need to fly Samoa Joe to Japan, bro.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Even as a one-off, it would be cool, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Him wrestling Ishii at fucking Sumo Hall or some shit like.
Did he wrestle Did Samoa Joe wrestle in New Japan? Because he was just a
He
no
was
guy, right?
he was an LA Dojo guy with like Rocky in there, but he never wrestled for them, unless I'm mistaken. I don't think so.
I get this. I have this vague memory of Samoa Joe with blonde hair,
Yeah,
in a tag match in Japan, and it frankly could have been so many fucking promotions at the
Yeah, it
time.
could have
Like,
been-
I think it was 0-1 because I know he did 0-1.
Probably
and then-
0-1.
it probably
And then
was
it was
0-1
Noah.
actually.
Mhm.
I know he wrestled in Noah a little bit. He actually has a match with Misawa.
Yeah,
He did 0-1 when he's still becoming Samoa Joe.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know if he did New Japan.
Yeah, you know, Samoa Joe to Japan, obviously, I think something you can put on my bucket list of things I'd want to see, you know. All right, super chats. Bro, $2. Appreciate you. Ready for Cody versus Seth for tonight. It does seem like that'll be the Raw matchup. When the tournament names got announced, you know, the kind of made sense for, you know, Cody and Rollins to be the Raw guys that make it to the Raw final in the main event tonight. But we'll see how it all plays out. Probably will be, and I'm sure they'll kill it again because they killed it the first 3 times. So you know, kind of brings me to obviously one of the topics that we got in the title, where it's like, you know, is Seth Rollins going to be the right person for them to put the World Heavyweight Championship on? Because it does really feel like at the moment, like it's trending that way, that he is, you know, like he's the favourite and he kind of feels like the guy who would be right to put it on right now. In the mode that he's in at the time the title's been introduced, it's like, you know, the stars have kind of aligned for him in that sense. That's just how it feels from my perspective. You know, I'm sure there's plenty of fans that might think, you know, I saw one of the comments, and when we posted something earlier about Seth Rollins, like, you know, being the favourite to win it, and someone was like, "Oh, it's too obvious. It should be Edge," you know. And I'm sure there is people that have all kinds of. I don't know, let's not laugh at other people's opinions, you know.
I'm sorry. My apologies.
You know, but I'd say the consensus is that, you know, most people feel like it's Seth's belt to win, you know. But do we think he's the right guy to be holding it? You know, do we think he can make the title feel close to on par to Roman's titles? You know, what do we think he can actually do with it? Do we think he's the right guy for it? Joe, I'll throw it to you first because you're the veteran professional. Break this down.
I think he absolutely is the right choice, but I do have to just throw that disclaimer in there again that I'm not convinced this is a belt that I, you know, would want to exist in an ideal world. I don't love this belt's existence because I think it's an immediate consolation prize. But if you're going to do it, the only way you can make it work is by framing it as a contrast to what Roman's doing, right? And right now, that is who Seth is. Now, a big part of me is like, that's kind of lame. Like the world champion's bit being that he's like a workhorse. It's like, all right, cool. But I think if you're going to do it, it's Seth because he's having the matches at that level. And he is by far the hottest guy that makes sense for this belt. Obviously, Cody and him are very close, but we all think Cody's going to head back to Roman. When you take Cody off the board, there's a lot of good talent in that lineup, but there's only one of them is as hot as Seth and is in the form he's in. So I think he's the perfect choice if the belt has to exist, which clearly it's going to. I remain kind of hesitant on really, you know, being like all in on it, is because it doesn't feel necessary to me personally. But that's where I'm at. Let me.
Yeah,
I have 2 random Raw match announcements. Then like, because I got sent the lineup. Dominik is facing Xavier Woods, which might be a little bit of a pop there, and Imperium are going to be fighting Steen Erico, which is cute. Yeah, that sounds like a Joe Holbert wake up in the morning and write a review. Man. You know what I mean? Yeah, it does. Seth Rollins, yeah, look, he's going to win the belt, and he probably should win the belt because Cody Rhodes is going after Roman Reigns. I think that it's going to get over with their audience, like the idea of this belt and this brand's world champion, because Seth Rollins is liked and he has really good matches and he's very consistent on pay-per-view, so it'll be totally fine in that standpoint. From a traditionalist purist standpoint, you know, like I totally get the idea of there's only one world champion for sure. Hopefully Roman Reigns' 2 titles are consolidated into one new belt, which I actually heard that they were planning to do that. And that's kind of my thing there. No, it's not going to feel like Roman Reigns' thing because at the end of the day, Roman Reigns doesn't really feel beatable unless it's Cody Rhodes. And Seth Rollins, I think after a few months, I think you could probably see a lot of different people beating Seth Rollins. So it's
Mhm.
off that alone, it's not going to be the same thing.
What sort of people do we want to see challenging for this belt then? Like, say Seth does get it, and he has this run for the next 3,
Drew
6,
McIntyre.
9 months, however long. Who do we want to see on that list challenger?
I think Ibby, you said Hill Drew, right? Hill Drew McIntyre.
Heel Drew McIntyre, Gunther.
Gunther would be the guy that I
Gunther's
think in
a
an
big
ideal
one.
world eventually
Beats
takes
him,
it. Yeah. And then I said this to you guys. I think it was off the air actually, but I said like, if you're going to do this belt, I think you eventually make it Gunther's success, the thing he follows the IC title with eventually. And then ideally, when you get to the the next WrestleMania cycle and it's gone behind you and you start fresh, Gunther will be established as a world champion level guy in WWE, and Cody will be there, you'd assume. So then you could go to that natural matchup with them both being world champions at some point or another over the last year.
Well,
So
this is what you do. Seth has his work rate run, and he wows the masses, He has
Silent
all his
M.
four. He has 4 stars.
I know where you're
people,
bringing.
the people sing the song, and then big bad Gunther.
Oh yeah.
He comes and takes the belt, and he's dominant, and it's really sports based, and people have to earn the right to compete for more title. He does the exact same. You copy and paste the Intercontinental title, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
and
100%.
You do that, and by the time he drops it to whoever the hot baby face is at that time,
You know what I'd like to see?
Hold on.
Sorry.
And then you get to the real main event. You get to the Brock Lesnar match. Established Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. That's I'd fly out for that.
I co-sign. The one thing I would say, and can we get this match along the way, please? When Gunther's world champ, him wrestling Kevin Owens. Babyface KO fighting uphill against Gunther, I think would be. I see Kevin Owens. Kevin took a flip bump on a Samoan Spike on Saturday night, and what he would do with a Gunther chop, I can't even fathom it.
He would go all out in trying to just kill himself.
I've decided that come Mania time, Gunther should be world champion following Seth Rollins, and I've also decided that Brock Lesnar should challenge that. I think Brock should win maybe the Chamber to get that shot, and then we get that thing rolling, brother, at Mania for the world heavyweight.
Yeah. No.
What's up, man?
Gunther is gonna wrestle Dolph Ziggler. That's gonna be a great match.
That is good shit. That is good shit, bro. Don't tempt me with a good time.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a great match. I'll actually watch that.
Dolph Ziggler,
you're full of shit, man. You will not watch that match.
Hey, I watched.
They wrestled.
They wrestle.
There is like a month ago. It went like 3 minutes.
Manny, have you seen Gunther versus Drew versus Sheamus?
I don't got time for that.
He hasn't seen Gunther versus Sheamus, bro. He hasn't seen any of them.
Those matches were given 5s and would absolutely pop you. Like they would 100% pop you.
I saw one of them. I saw.
You give it 3.5. I remember. It was the one at the Clash of the Castle.
No,
that is the one. Yeah, that's when he trolled, I think.
Yeah.
No, I actually didn't watch it. I think I texted Monty like, match pretty good. I think I actually went like a shoot like 4 1/4 or something like that.
Okay.
That's it. Oh, I saw the Mysterio match.
You did, and that was your weird 1 week where you're doing this like bit where like you were just kind of like, I remember that.
Manny's tweets after that match were fucking
He posted Ray doing a pin counter on Gunther, and he was just like, "This is real wrestling." Like he was like breaking down like the psychology of it and shit. The thing is, like, even though he's being ironic, everything he said was actually pretty true. Like Ray struggling in that hold and getting Gunther down for the pin and shit like that. That's what's psychotic about Manny. He's a maniac. He's pretty fucked. He does these bits, but then he'll make these tweets that are like bits and also pseudo in character that are also like they like the points made kind of make sense. It's kind of frightening, actually.
That's the thing, man. When you're doing bits like what I do, you have to throw in, you have to throw in like real things, because if you do bits like 24/7, man, nobody's gonna believe the bits. So when you're actually watching a match to pop yourself, and you got to mix in real analytical tweets with the ones that are gonna pop you, like the one I posted today where
You got to have some variety. You know?
Bro, this is insane, man.
You have some variety when you're the hooper, you know.
This interview where he's breaking it down.
He's breaking down the psychology of the hooper, but enough of that because we've got some super chats that I need to get through. We've got less than 10 minutes, and I do need to get out of here before Raw starts today. So,
Okay, let's go.
And I've got something I want to touch on as well. So we got Trust the Process 34,999. It's already discussed biggest wrestling what ifs and got me thinking, if you guys could change one decision / result in wrestling history, what would you choose?
Mine is not a result. It's the way the result was portrayed, which is Sting and Hogan, Starrcade 97. If Sting just beats him clean in the middle in 5 minutes, they complete one of the greatest wrestling stories ever. Every time Sting's entrance hits my timeline from that show, I get mad, and I was not a fan then. I'm not, I haven't even got any nostalgia for it. They were just so close to completing that towel. So it's not changing the result, but it may as well be, because by the time they got to the end of it, it was fucking, what's the point,
Ibu, not sure what big one.
If Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns, that's the greatest WrestleMania of all time. So I'm going to just do that.
Respect.
It's a Fed one. It's Shawn Michaels versus Eddie Guerrero.
That match never happened, man.
What decision?
Yeah. So wait, what if it happened?
But this was on.
He read the first half of the question. Never mind. We're moving on.
Good question. Really good question. Really good question.
Match on 84, 199. Appreciate that. Why does Vince refuse to recognize Inoki as WWE champion?
He's a pussy.
Coward.
Why isn't Inoki? No.
Ben Dixon, $5. Appreciate you. How many Gunter chops before Brock hits a shoot double leg tight now? Listen, bro, it'd pop him.
About
Brock's a sicko.
1.5.
I honestly think
Brock's a sicko, bro. Brock loves it,
Yeah, no, I think you're pretty right.
Brock loves it when someone steps to him. You can see it.
It depends who it is. Yeah, I think Paulie would put Gunter over, so he'd be okay.
Yeah, 100%. Mass fan, 199. Appreciate you. Do you watch one USW show? Was very good. I did not get around to it.
I did.
Manny rating out of 10.
It was an 8 out of 10. It was awesome. I didn't realize I've seen highlights of submission grappling before on YouTube and stuff like that, but I've never seen a full match. I didn't realize how entertaining it could be, and then within that 10-minute time frame, and then the set with Muay Thai as co-main. I think, as an example, what happened on Friday, Muay Thai can work in the U.S. because everybody's going crazy for Boateng, and then the main event was awesome.
No, yeah, any striking is going to work in the US, mate. I love
it's not been promoted correctly. You're absolutely right.
Zaid 91.99, appreciate it. I watched Kawada versus Miyazawa due to WrestlePurists. Thank you. Wow, some positives,
Real graps.
Yeah. Ben Dixon, $5 again. Sting stomps Hogan out in 7 minutes. Sting says he is the undisputed world champ. Bret Hart debuts to go nose to nose with Sting to close the show.
That's the way. And Bret would have been the perfect world champion to bring all of those underneath guys up to the main event. The aforementioned redacted Jericho, so on and so forth. Eddie, this could have been a whole thing.
Bro,
right, so
you rebooked WCW in 1998, and they're still a promotion to this day.
Yep. It's crazy.
Tony would have brought WCW. We would have it.
I was going to hold on. They 25 years ago.
Yes, here's the thing, Matty.
They might not have absolutely destroyed themselves as quickly as they did, but still a promotion today. I don't know.
There were lows and highs and lows for sure, but I think that the pieces that we got from TNA and specifically, I feel like TNA would have just happened in WCW a little bit,
yeah, probably.
It already kind of was, right? A couple of those guys were appearing, so yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I've got one last thing. I was going to have this conversation off there, but just talk a real quick one. Just to make how many people, Ibu, over the past month, 2 months or so, have been I don't want to say victim, but have been affected by this WWE unofficial hiring freeze? Because there's a list building up now. Because I know it's not exactly the most significant goal, but there was Ibu. Let me fucking. There was a report the other day. He's not the most significant guy, but Colby Carino was apparently someone who had a verbal agreement with WWE, and then he got reported that over the weekend that obviously he's kind of fell consequence to this unofficial firing for you. So there's definitely a list building up now.
Yes,
People
there
are already
is.
putting names in the chat.
Can I say something real quick before Heyman says something? Look, I predicted this was going to happen. People didn't believe me when I said it. And I think we're seeing that. Oh, an example of this playing out right now on TV. I don't want to take a victory lap. I'm just saying, I was right. And
That sounds like a victory lap, man.
I know.
So who's the names on the list is what I'm trying to get at.
It's pretty crazy. Nick Aldis, Tamatonga, Hikuleo,
Oh, God.
Jay White,
Good lord.
The Authors of Pain, Colby Torino.
All the stars are here.
Hold on. Who is that after Colby?
No, I didn't say it. I just repeated Colby. There's more.
Right.
I'm trying to remember because there was a lot of like underneath deals that they
What
had
about
set up.
Cardona, man? Wasn't
Yeah.
he signed?
What about
Yeah.
him?
So here's the deal. Matt Cardona. I was told that Matt Cardona agreed to a deal of some kind in like late December, right? And the idea from like internally was always to me like, yeah, he's gonna just do some indie dates for like a lot of the first quarter of the year, and we'll start to see him around May, like after Mania. And for all we know, he's still. I get this feeling personally. My theory, Monty, is that he didn't put pen to paper, and then once it was time to put pen to paper, that's when shit got weird with the sale, and they were like, all right, hold on. And I think that's why he did a lot of that whole like teasing with WWE and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so
I
he'd
can
be
tell you,
another.
What about Eric Young? Is he on there?
Eric Young is he made it right before the hiring
Okay.
freeze.
Good for him.
He's on the roster. He's
Good for
collecting checks right now, Davey Boy Smith Jr. style.
Beast.
The other name
I will say this, guys.
right?
So now pretty much everybody in the company knows that the hiring freeze is in effect, right? But early on, it was not known to a lot of people. And so there was a lot of like weirdness. For example, Tama Tonga was negotiating with WWE and they had a deal in place. And at some point, WWE stopped returning his phone calls and texts, and he didn't know why. And he tried to contact people to figure out what was going on, and he couldn't really get a straight answer. And he assumed maybe there was a lot of wrestlers assumed there was some Vince McMahon business going on, and that's what was affecting them. But no, it was literally just a hiring freeze. And so this was not related to me because this is obviously like this is like the top end of the company, clearly internal, whatever the fuck they got set up, right? I believe that personally. I think that at some point nearing Mania, it was officially related to Triple H. Stop recruiting these talents because you can't sign any of them. And he had to now figure out what the fuck to do with all the people that he had verbal agreements with. So that's the deal with that.
Chat said Kylie Ray because she had her trial. Casey Navarro was another person who was definitely looking at as well.
Navarro was not a situation of the hiring freeze.
We've got at least like 7-8 people though. None of them other than Jay White, none of them are really like, I'm sure they're all like good talents, Like, I'm not saying any of them are dog shit or anything, but none of them are like, oh my god, as if WWE have just signed this guy set for Jay White, and
Nick Aldis.
he's
If you want to look at like what's happening right now, I mean, with the reports going on with Drew, I mean, look at him. He's having a hard time getting his contract renewed. So I mean,
he's still got ages left though. So that's the thing with Drew. Like it's been made a deal. It's been made a big deal because he's wanted it to be made a big deal. Like he's blacked out his Twitter and his socials, and he wants a conversation dragged up about it. But if he wasn't doing that, then it wouldn't even be a conversation. Not just yet, I don't think.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, Manny, that Drew. It's by design that it's being talked about, and it's on Drew's part. He wants this to be a thing that people are like really on about. So
there you go, Drew. I'll keep it alive for you.
Good job,
man. And on that note,
I'll get you to Wembley.
I'm gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna go watch some Monday Night Raw. Of course, please like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We really appreciate it. We appreciate everyone who stayed with us till the end, and yeah, man, all the super chats, of course, we appreciate those as always. And we will be back tomorrow with Dumb Guy Live. Quick plug of we're going to be starting these weekly reviews by the one and only Joe Hulbert. He don't put himself over enough, unless he's doing like a carny bit about himself. But he's one of the better review. He's definitely one of the best reviewers in this wrestling space because it's kind of a lost art doing actual proper reviews, and it's something that we wanted to get on the site for a while. So Joe's going to be doing like a weekly review series where he's like, he'll take like 5, 6, 7, 8, who knows how many matches, and he'll do like a weekly guide. Joe, do you want to put it over a little bit more?
I will say I appreciate it very much. I am very proud of how it came out. I like the. I'm excited about this format. There will be variety. Obviously, I'm going to steer towards stuff that I'm most familiar with, but there will be room for variety, and it's going to be not necessarily the best matches of the week, but matches that are intriguing or give me a chance to see some different stuff and kind of update takes and stuff and such. So I think no matter what promotion you prefer, what wrestling you like most, I think if you read this guide, there'll be something in there that's like a fun read for you. Even if you don't read the whole thing, there'll be one of the matches will catch your eye. So check it out, WrestlePurists.com.
Yeah, man, check that out. Of course, like I was just saying, don't go live. Of course, follow us all on Twitter at WrestlePurists, at WrestlePurists.com. All the good stuff. Like and subscribe, and we'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, peace.